Welcome to episode 74. This is Manny Moonraker, and I'm here with you today because UFO is the topic, and that's why you're listening. Before we get started, I have a bit of a rant because I promised everyone that we would have a midweek episode, an interview with two of the actors on the film The Alienators. Well, it just so happens that I made a significant discovery. That discovery was that my computer apparently is afflicted by an ongoing Microsoft Windows epic level debacle. That's right. Apparently, at the end of last year, Microsoft decided to update Windows 10, and it's wreaking havoc among all computers. Now, they've put out some fixes in the meantime. However, I have yet to be able to fix my computer. Many times, I'll wake up about 3 in the morning because that's when it's scheduled to update, and it's stuck in a loop. And it sounds like it smokes cigarettes, like it has emphysema. It is so labored in trying to update itself, but the glitch doesn't allow it to do it. So if you have a computer or a laptop that runs Microsoft Windows 10, you may have noticed that since last year, it's been a little rough for you. So this update that Windows did, or should I say Micros did to Windows, keeps your computer in a loop, continuously trying to update something that it cannot. And as they continue to release updates, it continues to attempt to update itself, and it's not able to do it. So to make a long story short, not only can't I get this thing fixed, because I've tried over a half dozen different, solutions out there on the internet, but in addition to that, I did conduct the interview last week. A 40-minute interview with the actors of the movie The Alienators. On here, I had Alicia Tracy, who plays Jessa Williams, and I had Aaron Leddick, who plays Skip Wimbley. And we had a 40-minute interview, and those guys, I'm going to tell you right now, they were so engaged, and they are so about their craft and the film, which I'm hoping some of you have already seen. But at the end of that interview, I stepped away from my laptop. And lo and behold, the Windows broken update process took hold. I was going maybe 5 minutes. And in those 5 minutes, I got the blue screen of death. And needless to say, the interview was gone. Non-existent. So yeah, I lost it. You know, when I said earlier in January of this year that there might be situations where you see, or you hear, you really don't see me, well, you hear that the Moonraker is falling off the hinges. I fell off the hinges that day. I was totally out of control. But thankfully, we are going to have them again this coming week, so we will still have that interview. They've gracefully accepted an invite to conduct the interview again, thanks to Christopher Farley and the crew. So we will have that interview mid this week, maybe a little earlier. But Windows, I hate your guts. And I really am tired of Microsoft, and I've really been considering moving over to Apple. So if you guys have a preference over Microsoft or Apple products, let me know. Shoot me an email. Which one is better? Especially if you have experience with both. Because I'm totally disgusted with this. And they really do have us by the gonads. So let's get on with the show. So the first order of business, as you've seen in the title of this podcast, it's someone by the name of King Plachacha. So it would be extremely hard for me to explain to you what or who is King Plachacha. But thankfully, due in part to the power of YouTube, we have someone that can explain the existence of King Plachacha, of the Paladians. And so I'm going to play for you, I think it's about maybe 4 minutes, maybe a little bit over 4 minutes, of someone that can explain, someone who is in contact with King Plachacha on a regular basis. And he is alien contactee Lionel Anderson out of Canada. So I'm going to play this. I'm not going to preface this in any way. But if you have any interest in the Paladians, you've got to listen to Mr. Anderson. And here it goes.
ACLA. It's Alien Contactee Lionel Anderson here with you guys. It's Thursday. Very chilly day here in Canada. As you can see, it just snowed. Friggin' ridiculous, you know. Just snowed. It's supposed to be spring. And everything was finally starting to clear up. Then we get a big dump of snow. I'm sick of it. It's HARP. They're screwing with us. And I'm not happy about it. But that's a topic for another day. To be honest, my friends, I just needed a little escape. And from Canada here. So I phoned up King Plachacha. That's right, leader of the Paladian aliens. And I went to Yura last night. And he actually just dropped me off as we speak. That's right, my friends. I have just got back from the planet Yura, and it's beautiful up there, by the way. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I just right now, ingested, smoked, Compound 49. Just so you guys know. So, Compound 49, it's a space compound from Yura, up in the Pleiades Star Complex. It's pretty much space weed. And I can tell you it's pretty potent stuff. Well, we're talking about the Paladian aliens, I guess. Yeah, so King Plachacha, he's their leader. I guess I'll tell you a bit about him, because I have a video announcement that I gotta make that he wanted me to directly tell you guys. King Plachacha, he is the king. He's King Plachacha III, so he had two fathers before him who were ruling. It's a very strong bloodline. What can I say about the Paladians? I'll tell you about the Paladians, because I've been in contact for a long time now, since I was a youngster. The Paladians, they are not your typical greys or anything like that. They are humanoid beings, my friends. Very humanoid beings. They're about 12 to 16 feet tall. Very, very big guys. You know, they kind of look a bit cosmic and whatnot. They have a little bit different space structure. They'll look like an alien to you. Their faces are longer. Their women are beautiful. Their women are just smoking hot. Just smoking hot. And they live a very long time. I'd say the average lifespan for your average Paladian, it would be about 1,000 to 5,000 years. But for the elites, like the Plachacha bloodline, I'd say he's about 4,000 already, 4,032. He had a smoking problem. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. He had a very bad. He smoked through these are Paladian cigarettes, my friends, and he smoked about 36 packs a day. If you think about it, he was 17 feet tall. He was one of the tallest Paladians out there. He needed his smokes, and he liked to drink because right before that they. Okay, this is something for Sunday. King Plachacha III is going to whack me in the head. So we'll talk more about King Plachacha I on Sunday and about his smoking and drinking problem. I know it sounds crazy, but you know, they've been around for millions of years, so they've always had smokes and booze. I'm happy right now because King Plachacha III, he's learned after his grandpa's ways. And he stopped drinking. King Plachacha III has stopped drinking. He's just smoking the Compound 49 now. That's what he sticks to. He's 6 to compound 49, and he's pretty much just baked all day. He's eating munchies, and that's why the Paladians have been so peaceful these days. But, there's some stuff he's got to mention. But, like I tell you, the Paladians have been super, super peaceful because he has just totally brain compound 49 to a new level. Every time I see him, my friends.
All right, so there you have it. That was Mr. Anderson's, a.k.a. Alien Contactee, and he kind of breaks down King Plachacha for you. And so King Plachacha is baked. He's baked. He's an alcoholic. He smokes weed compound 49, the size of a cat. And my question is this. And so I've been meaning, I actually came across this video probably about 2-3 months ago. And I've been meaning to ask Mr. Anderson to join us and really tell us more about King Plachacha. The problem is this audio kind of tells you everything you need to know. My question is, why is it that King Plachacha and the Paladians only reach out to those that are baked, as he says? What is it about marijuana or weed that makes people contactees? I mean, I thought it was all about just being mellow and munching on some chips, but apparently this compound 49 does a whole lot more for you. And why is it that the Paladians aren't reaching out to Einsteins of the world? Why aren't they reaching out to Stephen Hawking's? I would first believe more Stephen Hawking's that he's in contact with King Plachacha than I would Mr. Anderson. But anyway, I don't want to rain in his weed parade. But if you guys want to see a little more, I've got the link to his YouTube channel. He has over 600 videos. And he goes through many different things, including the fact that in 2017, there is a war between the reptilians and the Paladians. And the baked King Plachacha is leading the charge. In addition to that, he makes claims that Donald Trump has made an agreement with King Plachacha to help him battle these reptilians. And maybe that's what's going on in politics in the United States. Maybe that's it. Maybe King Plachacha has given Donald Trump a significantly sized compound 49 weed buster. And maybe that's why he's doing what he does. Maybe he is high as all get up. But there you go. Check it out. King Plachacha. Reptilians, you better watch out. Because he's bringing all 17 feet of meat down your way. All right, let's move on to the Mufon report.
Grab onto your probes. It is Mufon report time.
All right, so Mufon report 82926. Now, this one really caught my eye because it's not about necessarily UFOs. And this is a first for me. I haven't seen anything like this on Mufon before, but this is concerning the moon. Now, this object was not flying, and this individual was just trying out his fancy new camera. Well, I don't know if it's fancy, but we know what model it is, so we can look it up and see. But the pictures from this camera are pretty phenomenal. So let's get into what he says. So again, this person's in the backyard. So people spend a lot of times in the backyard to see UFOs. So in the backyard, this individual was testing out the zoom ability on the camera that they had. And apparently that night there was a magnificent crescent moon out. And from the pictures, it's pretty nice looking. Nice clear skies. Nothing in the way. They took the picture from their camera and they went indoors to download the picture just to see how it looked. And they noticed an object. Now the camera they were using was a Nikon Coolpix B as in boy 500. And when I tell you this zoom on this camera, it's pretty nifty because you can see some nice detail. So as you know, the crescent moon has a bit of a shadow on it. And in the shadow, he noticed, right on the edge of it, what he thought was a rocket. And on the picture, he circles it. So I have the links in the description so you can take a look at this. He sees a rocket. Now, he's not claiming that this is an actual rocket like some people do, and they blast it through all kind of social media. He's actually asking for people's thoughts. What do you think this is? The picture is great. Like I said, take a look at it. Just click. It'll take you right to it. When I saw it, I didn't see a rocket. So now this picture here reminds me of Pareidolia. So you know that this is what the psychologists, it's a term that they use to explain when people see familiar things in random objects. And there is an article that I'm going to link in the description as well, in where it's the Daily Mail UK. I know what we think about the Daily Mail UK. However, the article is important because it takes random images and it explains facial pareidolia. And pareidolia can also happen with structures. Now, you see structures and they seem familiar. We see this all the time, week after week, when people take these images from the Mars rover and they see soldiers, they see women, they see animals, space crabs, whatever it is. Pareidolia, it's important. It's really important. We really shouldn't think of people that have pareidolia as being baked on compound 49. Because the truth of the matter is that we need to be able to recognize those patterns, no matter what it's called. So don't label people who experience pareidolia, because honestly, when I looked at those pictures, I saw the faces. But I'm not on compound 49 or anything else. Now, in doing some research, I did find that pareidolia is a subcategory of something else. Apophenia. So apophenia basically is the human tendency to recognize meaningful patterns in random data. And that's important because if you really think about it, there is just no way that we would have discovery, that we would conduct research if we didn't recognize meaningful patterns in random data, right? To me, that's discovery. You're not going to go and search for something. You're not going to spend time looking and reading unless there is something that you're looking for, unless there is a meaningful pattern in what you're perceiving. So I tell you this. We tend to label people because of the things that they see and because of the things that they recognize. But if you look at the meaning of apophenia, that is discovery, folks. So while some of these guys are out there and they're clickbaiting, they're trying to get you to click on their videos because they're saying there's a woman on Mars, just understand that in a way they're looking. They see patterns. The random patterns probably just started with the fact that they think that agencies like NASA are hiding things. But the truth of the matter is that that's a good possibility. And when you think someone's pulling a quick one over you, you see a pattern of deceit. It sparks your interest, so you start looking. And then things like pareidolia and apophenia take over. But like I said before, without these things happening, you're never going to look, because everything would just be as it is. So what I'm saying is, don't label the individual that sees a face on a rock as crazy, because the truth of the matter is that that's how we do discovery. And yeah, it might just be a rock. It might just be a shadow but at least they're looking. Just like we all should be. So I want to thank the Dave in the Morning crew. They did a special show on their podcast just so that I could be on there, so I could join them. And you've heard a lot of the things that come out of that show. It's a morning show. It airs at 6:30 Central on Spreaker. They're a funny crew. They're great. They are really down to earth, and nothing they do is scripted in any way. Kind of like me, nothing scripted. I just go with the flow. And I was on there on Saturday. If you get a chance, listen to the show. You know, he quizzed me about what's happening with UFO Buster Radio. Of course, I turned the tables a couple of times and asked him what's happening with the Dave in the Morning show. I'll have the link in the description. Give them a listen. It's a pretty good show. And it's always live, so they're always willing to interact with their listeners. So with that, that is my last bit of news for you guys. I am having my fingers crossed that Windows will not sabotage me again. I will be conducting this interview with the Alienators actors. I know you're going to enjoy it because I had so much fun conducting it. And if you haven't seen the movie, the information is in the description. In addition, I am looking to conduct a few interviews with individuals that have some research they've been conducting. One individual has been emailing me because they want to put together a formal scientific study or a guide to how to conduct research for UFOs. And so we're going to begin that conversation hopefully mid-month. I haven't emailed him yet, but he probably just heard this. But we're going to do that. We're going to have that conversation really, and I want to have it on the podcast because I want to bring everyone to the table. Let's all get together and find out how we're going to do this. Then I have another individual who's been sending me tweets that they have videos of UFOs that they've been seeing. And so they're also going to come on the podcast because he's very passionate about what he's doing. And he's making the circles, he's making the rounds, trying to get people to really look at his videos and help him define what's on there. So he'll be on here as well. I also got a request recently to have Donna back. We'll reach out to her and see what she thinks. Because the demonic interference is a perspective that's growing. You know, are UFOs really an origin somewhere in the control of demons? Are they really a form of misdirection, a deceit? So we'll have Donna back for that because it's a good conversation to have. Like I said, it's a perspective that's growing consistently. It's getting big. And last but not least, we should have someone on to discuss what's going on with the Aurora alien encounter on April 22nd. So we'll see how that goes. But that's all I got for you guys. It's a rainy day here in Texas. I'm going to go enjoy the rain. It looks like a rainforest outside. Everything is so green and soggy and wet and cold. I'm going to go enjoy that. Get a cup of coffee and go out. And so I bid you guys adieu. I thank you for listening. This has been UFO Buster Radio with your host, Manny Moonraker. And until next time, sayonara.